All right, greetings everyone. My name is Dr. Ledlyne Vazquez, and I currently work for NASA at the Kennedy Space Center, and I am the KSC STMD PLC. So, all my acronyms, that's pretty much KSC, Kennedy Space Center, STMD is a Space Technology Mission Directorate, and then the PLC is the point of contact. So that's pretty much like being a program manager out at Kennedy for the STMD program. So what that means is I pretty much work with headquarters to provide research opportunities for our researchers at Kennedy to get their missions approved, to get launched over to the moon and eventually make it to Mars. So I manage KSD projects to support STMD program at NASA headquarters. I've been in this role for about 2 years, but prior to this role, I was a lead systems engineer for a power system on the Artemis mission. And then prior to that, I supported verification validation testing as a systems engineer for various systems on Artemis. And prior to Artemis, I was blessed with the opportunity to make history with the US Space Shuttle program from 2004 to 2011. I worked for Space Shuttle, and with the Space Shuttle program, I was a navigational aids engineer. With that, I was able to support transatlantic abort locations. So, what that means is when the shuttles first launch, they're far away from Kennedy. If they were to have an emergency situation, they couldn't get back to Kennedy, they'd have to make an emergency landing overseas. So there would be teams of engineers either in France or in Spain to support those emergency landings. So I was a navigational aids engineer. So I supported France locations as well as Spain locations. So I've done 2 times to Spain, 6 times to France in support of Space Shuttle. And I loved it. And then outside of NASA, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a daughter, I'm a cousin, I'm a niece, and I'm a friend. Um, it's not a female dominated field, so females are minorities. But one thing that has enabled me to succeed in life is that my mom always recognized that I was different. So she always encouraged me. So she encouraged me to go after my path. When I stated that I wanted to be an engineer, my mom was highly encouraging. I think it's so important that, moms, build up those little girls and let them know like you're different. Even if you choose to go into a male dominated field, you're different. You got this. Like, don't feel intimidated by the boys. If anything, you make them embrace that you're coming into that meeting with your heels on and handle your business and get it done. So, something important for women who are coming into male dominated industries, and any woman that's thinking about coming into engineering, surround yourself with great mentors. So, your mentors may not always look like you, and your mentors may not always think like you, but surround yourself, find a group of people that really do believe in you and see something in you. And surround yourself with the positive feedback. So thankfully, I've been blessed with male mentors. I've also been blessed with a lot of female mentors. My female mentors have been great because a lot of times they see something in you that you may not have seen in yourself, and they may point you in a direction that you didn't consider yourself going into. Well, I started 20 Kennedy Space Center 20 years ago, but when I hired into the Kennedy Space Center, I hired in as a contractor. So I worked for United Space Lines, which was the main contractor for the Space Shuttle program, supporting NASA. So one of my mentors happened to be one of the technicians. So even though I was the engineer and I was supposedly writing out the instructions for the technician, think about it. I just came out of college. I just got on the scene with space shuttles, right? This man has been a technician for over 20 years. Who has more experience repairing these parts? So a lot of times your mentors may not necessarily be somebody that has more education than you, or they may not be somebody that's higher ranked than you. Well, so, yes, you're going into a male dominated field. Yes, you're working in an industry that's primarily led by people who may not look like you or are like you. But the thing is that figure out what your style is and figure out what you bring to the table. So, when you figure out what your style is and how you operate and what works for you in the company, That's what takes you a long way. I was more willing to take on new opportunities because I figured out where I could help within that area or within that department. So my pointers for women is surround yourself with great mentors. Don't always look for mentors that look like you, but look for those male mentors, look for the female mentors, look for the African American mentors, look for the Caucasian mentors, look for all types of mentors, because a mentor is just somebody you can learn and grow from. And then two, figure out yourself. So find how do you become grounded? Listen to you, figure out what are your characteristics and what is your style. And once you figure out what your style is and how it can add to your surroundings, you can learn how you can add to your field and continue to grow in your field. And then believe in God. God got you. Sometimes He'll give you opportunities that you never saw coming, and you're like, where did that come from? But as you continue to grow in your field, the promotions will come, the opportunities will come. Just continue to stay consistent, and just keep pressing forward.